You know that feeling, right? When you've given absolutely everything to your career and you kind of look up one day and wonder, what's next? Well, today we're going to explore the story of a healthcare veteran who, after almost 50 years of service, finally found a way to build a future that served her. So let's talk about Julie. Her story starts with this incredible dedication to her work and her family. I mean, it's a commitment that pretty much defined her entire adult life. Just let that number sink in. 47 years. That's nearly 5 decades on the front lines of healthcare. Can you imagine? That's a lifetime of experience, of compassion, and just tireless work. And that brings up a really tough question that so many dedicated professionals face. After giving so much for so long, what do you do when the physical and emotional gas tank just runs empty? To really get why her pivot was so important, we first have to understand the incredible foundation she built over all those years. So this timeline, it shows a lot more than just a list of accomplishments. It shows constant growth. She graduates nursing school way back in '77, and she never stops learning. She gets advanced degrees, takes on leadership roles. This wasn't someone just clocking in and out. She was deeply committed to her craft. So what was driving all that hard work? It wasn't about climbing some corporate ladder. As she put it, she was the primary caregiver for her autistic son. So for her, stability was everything. It was all about building a secure foundation for her family. But here's the thing. That stability, it came at a huge cost. Underneath all of that success was this immense, invisible pressure that so many people in her field carry with them every single day. And this really gets to the heart of it all. As a healthcare professional, you are literally trained for endurance, long shifts, the emotional toll, staff shortages, you name it. But the one skill they almost never teach you is how to build leverage for yourself. And it's not like she hadn't tried to build something on the side before. She'd explored all kinds of things: network marketing, different affiliate programs, even a brick-and-mortar business. The problem was never a lack of discipline. It was a fundamental lack of energy. She said it perfectly herself. Exhaustion kills momentum. I mean, just think about it. When you're basically working 2 full-time jobs, one at the hospital and one as a caregiver, there is just no fuel left in the tank to start something new. Okay, this is where her story takes a really interesting turn. She realized the answer wasn't to just quit or escape. It was to make a smart, strategic change. It was time for a pivot. And this idea is so key. A strategic pivot isn't about blowing up your life and starting over. It's about intelligently adjusting what you're already doing to create some space, Space to think, space to breathe, and space to build something new, but on your own terms. And with that little bit of breathing room, her whole perspective shifted. She stopped chasing those flashy opportunities and started looking for something way more valuable: solid infrastructure. So what did that actually mean in practice? Well, she wanted systems that were built on established companies, not some risky startup. She needed real back-end support, absolute clarity about how things worked, and zero empty hype. This was a search for substance over style. This new approach also meant she had to redefine what success looked like. It wasn't about chasing some crazy online fantasy. It was about building something tangible, something meaningful. The goal was optionality. And get this, her income goal wasn't 7 figures. It was $3,000 a month. In a world just saturated with get-rich-quick stories, that number is so refreshingly real. It's grounded, it's specific, and it's actually achievable. And that number wasn't random. Every single one of those dollars had a job. It meant paying off her mortgage faster. It meant protecting her son's future. It meant reducing that constant financial pressure. And it created a real, tangible path away from the grueling demands of bedside nursing. That number represented freedom. And this all leads to the ultimate prize: career optionality. It's not about never working again. It's about having the power to decide, the power to choose your hours, your role, your future. Now that is real wealth. So how can we all apply Julie's journey to our own lives? Well, it really comes down to recognizing that your greatest asset is the experience you already have. This chart really lays out the formula. You take your professional experience, your integrity, your longevity, and you pair them with the right kind of system, one with real infrastructure, clarity, and leverage. And the result? You get stability, sustainability, and that all-important optionality. This insight from her is just so powerful. The skills you learn over decades of dedicated work, discipline, communication, problem solving, they aren't just job skills. They are entrepreneurial assets, just waiting to be unlocked in a new way. Jolie's story is such a powerful reminder that it's never, ever too late to pivot. So after a lifetime of serving others, the real question is, what could you build that finally shows up for you?